all, Paul Roberts here. Before we jump into this fishing journal entry, I want to give you a heads up as to what you're about to see. It's stuff you'll almost certainly be able to make use of on your own waters, and probably something you haven't been much aware of. It's called wind-generated current, and being able to recognize it can literally make or break your day. It's certainly something that can affect your fishing, whether you're aware of it or not. Any river or river-run reservoir fisher will tell you current rules the show on those waters. On natural lakes and ponds, though, the presence of current is much less consistent, and so it's much less likely to be recognized by fishermen. But current offers the same advantages to predators on all waters. In still waters like lakes and ponds, the only way current can be generated, besides at inlets and outlets, is by wind. Wind-generated currents, like any currents, can signal predatory fish to put the feed bag on any water body. So it's worth understanding how such scenarios set up and how fish respond to them, so you can take advantage of them when they happen. The fish certainly do. It's another be there or be square kind of scenario for both fish and fishermen. All right, let's do it. Let's fish. Let's see what wind-generated current can mean to your fishing, even on small waters.
Here's where we're going to fish. It's a channel that runs down the center of a shallow strip pit. This channel holds good numbers of bass because it's one of the deepest areas in this shallow pond. It's the narrow shape of the channel that allows good wind-generated currents to develop. But before we dive into the details of this particular channel, let's look generally at how wind-generated currents set up. What's happening here is that water's essentially not compressible, meaning it cannot be squeezed into a smaller space. So when it's forced through a constriction, it has to accelerate through, creating a strong current. Current has an enormous effect on fish. Notice that the bluegill's movements here are restricted by the current. Larger fish, such as mature bass, have much less difficulty dealing with such current speeds. They have a physical advantage on the smaller fishes, and they know it. I think what's happening from the bass's perspective is that the prey's movements are more predictable when constrained by current. Sunfish's major defense is maneuverability, and current diminishes that ability. So what does wind-generated current look like in a fishing scenario?
And you can even see it coming through. There's a good bit of current coming through there. I've got a current break here, a current break there, on both sides. You get a current break behind because there's an eddy. You get a current break in front because there's a cushion where water stacks up.
Cushions and eddies are areas of slack water created by an obstruction to the flow. The cushion is that non-compressible water stacking up against the upcurrent side of the obstruction. An eddy is the pocket of calm water directly behind the obstruction. Such calm areas allow fish to hold without having to expend the energy to fight the flow. As you can imagine, small fishes, especially flat-sided ones such as sunfishes, are much more greatly affected by current than our larger and more streamlined fishes such as bass. This advantage is not lost on those bass. All right, let's revisit our highlighted main channel, and let's strip away the water to look at two important features and why they're significant. The first area is an eddy, created by an indent in the shoreline. When wind blows down this channel, an eddy sets up in this indent, corralling bluegills and creating a carnage zone for the bass. But there's an additional element here too, one that is almost prerequisite for the area to hold prey-sized bluegills in any number: cover. Here it's in the form of reeds, dead at this time of year, but important nonetheless, providing safety for the young bluegills. Moving out from the cover, into more open water just outside the cover edge, reveals the hunters. Here's the angler's view on this scenario, where we'll be casting from. The wind is blowing down the channel from the right, Structure, cover, prey, and wind-generated current provide the opportunity. So let's fish it. What we need to be aware of is that the strike zone, the carnage zone as I call it, is pretty narrow, concentrated in the eddy along the far bank. Getting an appropriate bait there, however, and detecting takes is a bit of a challenge with the stiff breeze. Luckily, the bass's pure aggression in that carnage zone helps me out.
Oh man, I gotta throw directly cross breeze. Right here. Pull in taut. Try to keep that as straight as. There's one. Whoa, I got plastered. Jeez Louise, I can't even keep tight on him. My gosh, he hit hard. Holy moly. Oh my word. That was a freight train hit. Oh. Chunker. Alright, come on. Oh yeah. My word. That was just. That was just a freight train hit. About a 15-inch fish. Got a little warp to the spine, little scoliosis there. Yep, nice, very nice condition. They always are in this pond. Yeah, still got some red, pink in the teeth. Very pretty fish. Oh, nice chunker. Oh boy. Wow, that was exciting. Oh man, I can't throw into the wind at all. That's one. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Yeah. All right. Very pretty. Getting a bit of a red eye there, you. Starting to get a little excited about spawning. I'm gonna guess that's a male. Still got some red teeth in there. I'm gonna guess that's a male. They got food in them though, they sure do. All right.
The second hotspot in our channel is a submerged hump or bar. With the wind-generated current coming straight down the channel, there's a cushion and eddy above and below the hump. Both gave up fish. I drew blanks when I got away from those two kitchenette-sized pockets.
Oh man, I've got a heck of a current in the middle of that channel now. All right, cross current. I know there's a hump out there. Yep, now I'm up on the rubble bar there, or that little bar. So I want to fish the top and bottom of that bar, so I just found it, so it should be just upstream of it. There's one. Oh, on and off. Let's go below the bar. There's one. Not a big one. Just below the bar. Jumper. Okay. Okay, dude. An 11-incher. Okay, top end of the bar. There's one. Oh. Top of the bar. I mean, the lead front of the bar is what I mean. All right, beautiful. All chunkers. Okay. Oh, it's calm now. I think I'm going to go back to my hot spot. I'm going to give this one more toss. All right, let's get the upside of the bar. Sorry, folks, gotta throw pretty much into the sun. All right, move. Let's get to our pocket. You should start getting thumped over there. Nobody. How can that be? That wind current has calmed. It was coming right down the pipe here, and it probably pushed the bluegills to the eddies along the banks, especially that far vegetated bank. And now the current's relaxed, and it's very possible that the bass simply don't have those bluegills corralled. Carnage zone has relaxed. Come on, where are you? Wow, it's gone quiet in there. How interesting is that, huh? What is this, a river reservoir? River run res? It's a pond, it's a gravel pit. Who ever heard of fishing current in a gravel pit? Well, you've heard of it now. I've fished current in these quarries before. Any neck down area, when you have wind blowing, can create quite a current. And that's what we had today, and I've had that in the past too. And it's been, it's night and day. So I think what we saw was that current was essentially affecting the bluegills and pushing them and corralling them, essentially, controlling their movements. And that is what bass look for. They look for that advantage and they come alive. They press that advantage, and then when the advantage goes away, the odds tip in the bluegill's favor a little more, and it's not worth chasing. It's not worth hunting. Now the bluegills are like, they can relax a little right now. They're not fighting current, and they're not dodging bass. All right, fascinating.